Time should be spent in curiosity, should be spent exploring things in a different way, looking for new ways of being.
Leadership, empathy. So I think those, we have to consider those right now.
Why do you use AI? And people should be okay to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's explore a question that defines our era. How do we lead in the age of AI while honoring our responsibility to people, to planet, and prosperity? Because technology without humanity is empty. Progress without sustainability is short-lived, and prosperity without purpose is meaningless. Our next panel brings together 5 extraordinary leaders from across the globe, each championing human-centered growth, inclusion, cultural transformation, and a responsible innovation at scale. Guiding this critical dialogue is a distinguished leader whose own journey embodies service, resilience, and advocacy. May I please welcome Dr. Normanie McKenzie Ricky, please, on the stage. She is a former officer of United States Navy, motivational speaker, volunteer, and a patient and an advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause for her. Joining her on the stage are 5 visionary leaders. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please be seated. Moving ahead, calling the 5 visionary leaders, may I please go ahead and welcome Carlota do Gula, please, on the stage. Miss Carlota do Gula-Iremedio, founder and CEO of Cogentc Business Solutions, bringing over 2 decades of strategic business consulting expertise. May I go ahead and please invite Michelle D. Almeida, Company Director of MDA Business Coaching. Michelle D. Almeida. Thank you so much. May I go ahead and invite Dr. Mangesh Khan, Founder and CEO of Wonder Kids Easy Learning Center. Dr. Mangesh Khan. May I please invite Dr. Sreemanti Mangesh Gijare. Dr. Sreemanti Mangesh Gijare, clinical hypnotherapist and founder of HealingWithSree. Hypnotherapist and founder of HealingWithSree, integrating neuroscience with holistic wellness. Moving ahead, may I please invite Dr. Dominic, founder and chief culture architect of Gula-Iremedio Consulting. Dr. Dominic. All right, over to you.
Hi, everyone. As our host so graciously said, my name is Dr. Normanie Ricks. I am from the United States. I've been a business owner and I've been a practicing occupational therapist for 17 years. I would like for everyone on this stage to say their name, where they're from, the name of their business, and how long they've been in business for.
Good afternoon. So I'm Carlota de Gula-Iremedio. I'm from the Philippines. I'm an accountant by profession, and for 2 decades I've been doing the finance services and also business consulting. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back. So I'm Michelle Almeida. I'm the owner of MDA Business Coaching, and the business is actually coming up to 4 years old, so it's celebrating this year, which is nice.
Awesome. And where are you from?
I'm from Scotland. I'm actually from the UK generally, but I live in Scotland and I love it up there. So you're all welcome to visit.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sreemanti Mangesh Gijare. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, regression therapist, wellness coach, speaker, author. I have 2 books. And my specialty, I feel, it's reversing chronic health conditions. Before this, I was a geoscientist. My company name is HealingWithSree, and I've been doing this for the last 6 years now. And I'm happy to be here sharing my opinion. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Dominique Revere, also known as Dr. Dom. I am a DEI and leadership expert out of the United States, and I've been in practice at my organization called Remedy for the last 6 years.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So there's a statistic that says by 2030, AI is expected to contribute 15.7 trillion to the global economy, making it one of the most transformative forces of our time. We are fortunate to be a generation that has seen the internet, Google, the smartphone, and now AI. So I have the wonderful opportunity to talk about the theme today, Leading in the Age of AI, Global Leadership for People, Planet, and Prosperity. I would like to ask all of these ladies an opening question. In your view, what does leading in the age of AI truly mean beyond technology in terms of purpose, empathy, and global impact? Starting with you, Carlota.
Hello, so that was a good question. So actually, for the last decade, we are prepared by the modern leadership style of Agile. So we were taught of collaboration and adapting to change. And this is the change. And now, we don't just collaborate people, but we have to collaborate people and machines. So I think that's where we're in right now. And that's the big challenge for the leadership.
Most definitely.
So for me, I obviously shared a little already. I think it's more about us as human beings and leaders than it is about the technology. So you need to understand who you are, the purpose you have and your organization has in a wider field, and the impact and the difference you want to make to your business, your location, and also potentially on a global scale. The technology, it can do data, it can do tasks, it can do things that mean that you have more time, and that time should be spent in curiosity. It should be spent exploring things in a different way, looking for new ways of being, and potentially even working a little bit less so we have a bit of a happier life, you know. It's not a case of we should work 40, 50, 60 hours a week forever. If AI gives us more time, then we need to use that to become more balanced as human beings and encourage our teams to do the same.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So yeah, leading in the age of AI, I personally feel, yes, AI can do a lot of things in very fast, huge data, precision, great. But what AI can't do is human connection. So in this realm where we are, that is the key which can bridge the gap. Without that, without human beings, there's no AI. It has no meaning. So I personally feel this bridge needs to be made and defined and well, so that the future ahead of us, the world we leave for our kids, is safe and happy. Yeah.
I think you said something really important there. You said embrace it. So.
Yeah, and I would just expand on that and say that what we're hearing and what we're seeing is that no longer can we separate personal and professional. Right, so when we talk about balance, I really believe that it's more or less harmony that we need to find, and AI allows us to do that. It gives us a little bit more time, right? It allows us to be a little bit more curious, certainly allows us to ask questions, not only what are we using AI for, what are the solutions that we're trying to seek, but also who are we using it for, who's been considered, right? So I think that it allows us to ask different questions or calls on us to ask different questions, and at the same time finding harmony in our lives, right? Slowing down so that we can speed up, really taking one step back and leaning in so that we do have an opportunity to learn, not only using the tool, but then also learning from one another.
Awesome. Taking a step back and leaning in. Wow. This next question is for Michelle. As someone who empowers leaders and teams, how do you see AI reshaping the leadership mindset and the way we nurture human potential within organizations?
So as a leader of a team myself, also a coach and a mentor, I think the big difference for me is actually AI is calling me to be more. It's telling me I need to do better. I can't rely on my skills in the task that I do to be an incredible leader. So I need to instead develop my skills around developing my people, spotting talent, caring for people, nurturing people, and make sure that my mindset is more resilient and able to adapt. And those things being embraced within my team and developed with them to allow us to be able to grow stronger together. AI actually challenges me to do better. And I think that should be in the same for all of us, because if it's replaced us in the day-to-day, what are we going to spend that time doing? And we've all touched on curiosity and spending more time thinking and more balance. But it also comes with a different kind of responsibility to spot your potential and develop your people and to care more.
Empathy.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, this next question is for Carlota. You've worked extensively on organizational transformation. What strategies have you found most effective for helping teams embrace AI and digital transformation without losing their human touch?
Okay, so nowadays, AI is everywhere, and it's not only pressuring the people, but actually the business owners of not being left behind. But we have to take it a step, to have a step back and discuss it with our team, discuss the transparency of our alignment of our plans, because you might be surprised that your teammates have ideas that will help you move towards AI journey. So I think that's important. And also, this morning we were discussing about change management, about leadership, empathy. So I think those, we have to consider those right now, not a drastic jumping into AI, but doing it together as a team. And we have to discuss all the plans that were, because it's not just adjusting to what's new, it's just having the journey within your team. Yeah.
I think you said something else important there. You said the team. So they say teamwork makes the dream work. So even if you're not the person on your team that's great at AI, if you have somebody on your team that is, like, pull them in, let them help you, let them teach you, let them teach the rest of the team. So, okay, Dr. Dominique, you work deeply in diversity, equity, and inclusion. How can AI be leveraged to reduce bias and create equitable workplaces? And what are the risks if it isn't handled mindfully?
Yeah, sure. So before DEI, I was an executive in the human resources space for 20 years. And the one thing that I'll say is that there's duality when we talk about AI, right? So I think one of the things is that AI can help to be the spotlight. So when you talk about how can it enhance and what opportunities there may be, it certainly can shine a light on things such as pay inequities, some of our hiring decisions. It can certainly help to sift through data when we talk about engagement scores and the overall employee experience. I think the other part of that, right, the other side of that coin, however, is that it can also be a mirror. So we have to be very mindful of the data that's going into AI, because otherwise it just illuminates chaos, right? And things that may not be true. So again, it's one of those things that we have to be very cautious, right? And use it as a tool and not allow it to be the end all be all, because if we're putting in bad data, then we're gonna get more bad data out of it, right? And that's just going to continue to exacerbate any type of inequities or inequalities that we see within our organizations and certainly within our world.
What are you guys' opinion on AI and, I guess, ChatGPT and authenticity? I had a situation where I was hiring a younger employee, and she was responding to me, and I could tell that she was using AI or ChatGPT. So I asked her, was she using it? And she was embarrassed, and I really didn't understand why she was embarrassed. But moving forward, should people just say, yes, it was ChatGPT? I guess this question is for Dr. Sree.
So as you just now mentioned, is it okay to own up that you used AI? Why not? The whole idea is the AI is here to leverage and help you reduce your work time. So do I use it to make my posts? Yes, because I really suck at it. So if I'm using it to use my social media presence better, why not? AI is there to help reduce my workload and actually take tasks off me which I don't enjoy much. So yes, I do use AI, and people should be okay to say, did I modify the text a little bit to make it me? That's it. Yes, I did that. So that is what AI for you, not just copy paste. Yeah.
And Dr. Sree, healthcare is witnessing a major AI-driven change. How do you see the balance between clinical intuition and algorithmic intelligence shaping leadership in your field?
So yes, AI has made remarkable changes in the healthcare sector. The precision with which it can detect anything much before it is even visible, it's like mind-blowing. So yes, AI can detect disease, but healing always begins with intuition, or how to eliminate or how to remove that disease cannot come with human connection. So even though AI has made huge leaps and bounds of changes in the healthcare sector, and I think it's for the better, so that something can be diagnosed much earlier. Yeah, and then when it's already diagnosed, you already have a lot of time to work on it to make it better. And they're human beings. So luckily I'm in a field where human beings will be always needed. And I think it's not just about my field. Human beings will be needed. As I said in the beginning, without that, AI has no significance. Yeah.
That's a great example of using AI as a tool to speed up the process. This next question is for everyone. As leaders from different domains, business, academia, policy, and coaching, what common qualities do you think will define AI-ready leadership in the next decade? We can start with you, Carlota.
Sorry, what the?
As leaders from different domains, what common qualities do you think will define AI-ready leadership in the next decade?
AI ready, okay. So actually, I'll just share with my country. So more than 90% of our economy is comprised of micro, small, medium enterprises. So imagine that's 67% of employment, and contributing 40% of our GDP. So imagine in the 99%, more than 99% as MSME are different leaders. And everyone is, before they would like to apply innovation, and now we're towards sustainability. And some of these businesses are already on the second, third, fourth generation passing on. So, and I noticed that they have one common quality that made them successful, which is the what discussed this morning. It's leadership by purpose. Because if you look at it, not all of them are really focused on profit, but the profit follows. Because the reason why they sustain is that they led by purpose. And even with this AI and whatever advancement that we have, it's for me, it's the best leadership style that we should have apply. Thank you.
So I think there's a few different elements to the future leaders. One being that they need to have emotional intelligence, which we've all covered and many people today have discussed. I think the adaptability is there, that we need to be able to change our business models and move, but we also need to be able to adapt to our teams and their circumstances, because this is a period of changing and for some of them, chaos, let's be honest. Like, they don't know where they're coming. There's still people in the workforce today with 5 generations in work who don't know how to use computers in the way that maybe someone who just left school did. We can't assume that we're all starting from the same base, and we need to be able to be adaptable to the workforce that we have. And I think there's a big responsibility, and I think one of the people earlier today touched on that around our ethical responsibility. As a leader, we must be willing to still say no when the smart technology says it should be yes. And that's our responsibility.
Excellent, excellent, excellent answer.
So I feel the 3 key characters you should develop as a future AI leader, or just generally as a leader, is first is self-awareness. So self-awareness is the thing, like it's like a guideline. It helps you know where you stand at this point. So that's first. The second is adaptability. Without that, you will be left behind if you do not, like it's a Darwin's law of evolution. If you do not adapt, you become extinct. So that's very important. And the third one is empathy. The more we automate externally, the more we should humanize and harmonize internally. And today I picked up this new word. Again, I'm going to cut you, resiliency. Yes, so all four of it is needed for a future AI leader. So that's the key, I feel.
Yeah, and the two that I would have to add is, first off, having the audacity, right? The audacity to lead, the audacity to stand in the gap, to ask the questions, to dare to be different, especially when we talk about Black and brown communities, right? What does representation look like? Who's sitting at the table? Whose voice haven't we heard? So really, again, being audacious and asking the right questions. And then the other thing that I'd say is accountability, right? When we talk about AI and kind of going back to your previous question, is it okay to admit that I'm using it, right? Giving credit where credit is due, right? Having the level of accountability to not only say that, yes, I use AI, but I think also being accountable in the sense that I need to humble myself, right? When Carlota talked about collaboration and bringing the team together and understanding, hey, you know what? I may not have the answer to this, but somebody on my team may have the answer to this. But really being accountable and, again, calling people in as opposed to calling them out.
Wonderful. The next questions are from Michelle and Dr. Dom. Both of you work closely with emerging leaders. How do you prepare the next generation to navigate ethical dilemmas in an AI-driven environment? And I think, Dr. Dom, you kind of started talking about that already.
Yeah, I think for me, it's really about reminding them of who they are, right? Reminding them that they are the plug, right? They are the creative genius. They are the ones that are going to move and fuel the world, and that they need to stand in their purpose and power. Also reminding them that they're in the room for a reason, so don't allow their voices or their mics to be muted. The other thing that I like to tell emerging leaders is to remember that your title is rented, but your integrity is yours. So when we're using AI or we're just leading our teams, ensuring that our values align with our actions, that we say what we mean, that we do what we say we're going to do, and that we lead from a place of integrity. Yeah.
Awesome. Michelle?
I just really like all of that. So I think the other thing I would put in there is around the mindset piece. Like, ultimately, AI can make faster decisions than us, but it makes decisions based on what we tell it. It makes decisions based on our values and our beliefs and what we've given it as information about what matters to us as companies. So it will only give out the information that we put into it. So if I have bad standards, if I am a leader who doesn't really care about my people and I'm just about profit, if I'm not doing something with good intention, then that's how it's going to respond. If I'm instead asking it as a tool to guide me on how to do better, how to be more, and how to inspire others, then it's going to give me ideas for that. And I think we touched on it with the social media post as well. It should give you ideas. It's almost like mind mapping and being creative and curious through AI, but still ultimately being the person responsible for what you take from it. That is something that is still ours to control.
Awesome. For Carlota, sustainability and innovation are often seen as opposites. How can global leadership harness AI to drive both? Fostering prosperity without compromising planetary well-being.
Okay, so for me, sustainability and innovation should come together because if you look at it, this technology advancement that we have, if you take it as a blessing, you can use it to our advantage. And but given the power to have this opportunity to use AI, also leads us to a great responsibility of using it correctly and ethically. So we have to study, learn more about it. We have to know more about AI, our team also, so that we know how to use it to the best of their advantage.
I think you make a great point. We can't ever take education out of the equation. AI is not there to replace education. It's there to help and augment it. Right? Okay. For Dr. Sree, as coaches and thought leaders, how do you personally stay grounded, resilient, and human amid the noise of digital transformation and constant connectivity?
So I firmly believe in what I preach, I practice myself. And the most important thing in that space is there's no cheat days. So every day is the same day for me, whether I'm on vacation, whether it's a weekend or a weekday, it doesn't really matter. And that's the first 45 minutes of my day is meant for breath work. It's meant for yoga. It's meant for my time with nature, whatever that is. Earthing, grounding, I truly believe in, gratitude, all of this. And by the way, there are certain times in my day where I completely switch off. So when I disconnect, I've seen it helps me connect better with me first and with others. I can get little nuances which I earlier could not catch because there was so much of noise within. So this has helped me, and that has helped me keep me grounded and work better.
Awesome. So the final question for all of the panelists, if you had to give one piece of advice for future leaders to lead people, planet, and prosperity in the AI era, what would that be in one line? I'll start with Dr. Dom.
I would say that we collectively need to heal. And we have to heal together, individually, and help one another. And when I say heal, I mean first and foremost humanize, right? Humanize the things that we do say and how we show up in spaces. We need to be willing to evolve, right? AI isn't something that we can shy away from. It's something, again, we need to adopt, lean in, and learn more about so that we can use it in a safe as well as ethical way. We also need to align. So when we're talking about our businesses, when we're talking through or about our employees, making certain that what we do in organizations that we work in, work for, and work alongside align with our values. And then the last thing I'll say is that we have to lift, right? So we have to lift as we climb the ladder, those that are coming behind us, whether it be future leaders, those that don't quite yet understand. It certainly could be people who are scared, right, to operationalize AI or anything that we've got going on in our organizations. But it's really about healing, again, individually and collectively.
Awesome, and have no fear.
That part, right? Have no fear.
Dr. Sree?
So I personally feel that we should lead with consciousness. AI is here, it's going to be here, but the whole idea is to use AI to uplift humanity in the best way possible. AI is going to be here. It's not a threat. We are treating it as a threat. We have to use it for our betterment. That's what I feel, and it's going to happen only when we use it in the best possible way using our consciousness. I work in the mind space, as you know, and what I see is that human mind, no algorithm can beat it. Yes, AI is here to make things faster, larger things can be done quicker, but nothing can beat a human mind. So nothing can outsmart it, truly. It can be faster. Correct.
So there was a statistic that was put out earlier that we only use 20% of our brains. So I think in the age of AI, we have to be careful with what we are allowing AI to do, because, for example, now we can just Google everything and we have smartphones. And I remember a time where we all used to remember telephone numbers, and we can't remember telephone numbers anymore. So I think AI is definitely going to be helpful, but we still can't let it take over our mind space. Michelle?
Just on that, Stephen Bartlett recently did a test for 5 days using ChatGPT every day, and his critical thinking deteriorated within just 5 days. So he's now restricted it. He's still using AI in his businesses, but it was one of his podcasts recently. So he said the difference was just 5 days. It diminished his ability to critical think. So we do need to be a little bit cautious as well. For me, what I would say to future leaders is really around stay curious. Use your curiosity to fuel your company's growth. Use AI to supercharge your performance, but never forget that you are a human first. And that while we shouldn't shy away from saying we want more sales and profits, and I know for some people it's still a dirty word out there, certainly for some of my clients, they hate talking about sales and they don't like talking about making lots of money. But we're all in business to make money, and the sooner that we stand up and admit that, the better it'll be for us all. So yes, use AI to supercharge success, make more money, make more profits, but also make sure you're doing something of purpose and intent.
Awesome. Carlota?
Yeah, okay. It's simple. For the leaders, I suggest that you always have in mind that leadership is a power that is given to you, but it also comes with a great responsibility. So your leadership should, one, have common goal, which is to make this world a better place.
Awesome. We wanted to leave some time for questions and answers, Q&A session from the audience. Does anybody have any questions for this group here?
Could we ask you a question then?
Sure.
Okay, so you're obviously asking us what we think future leaders need to take with that. I'm curious, with you working with young people and the work that you do, what do you tell them about their future when they look at their careers in 10 years from now? What are those conversations like?
That's a really great question. I always like to tell people to capitalize on their strengths and don't focus on their weaknesses. I work with a lot of people with autism and all types of other neurodevelopmental issues. So I always tell them to just capitalize on their strengths. Let's focus on their strengths, because we don't want to be in a box. So you always have to think outside the box. And fortunately, I work with a lot of people that have Asperger's, so their brain power is on 100,000,000% already anyways. But so the age of AI will be great for people that have that are neurodiverse. So I just definitely drive home the point of, like, let's capitalize on your strengths and not focus on your weaknesses.
Fabulous. I love that. And I think they're really suited quite often to entrepreneurship as well, as a business or a future for them. I've got a few clients that have neurospiciness. That's their phrasing. So I love the fact that you're encouraging them to embrace who they are and know that that's a superpower.
Definitely a superpower. Anybody else have any comments? No? Do you guys have anything? Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Wait, take a second.
Let's have a group picture. Well, thank you so much, all the that was just one moderator. Thank you so much, the moderator, Dr. McKenzie, and the outstanding panelists for the powerful exchange of ideas.